Okay, welcome to a new episode of Nate's MMA Corner. I'm Nate, and if you watch my show, you're in my corner. Uh, Today's a pre-fight episode for UFC Fight Night, Poirier versus Johnson, in a lightweight clash of the ages. This is going to be a great main event. It's either going to go 5 rounds of boring lay and pray, or it's going to be boom, knockout, first round, I think, or second round knockout. There's going to be something that's it's not going to go in the middle. I think this main event's either going to be really exciting or really boring. So that anticipation kind of leaves you wondering. So let's get started. Yeah, this is the pre-fight show of the main card for this fight night. So do a rundown of my predictions. Okay, so in the main event we have Dustin the Diamond Poirier, former featherweight star in the UFC, now a lightweight star in the UFC, and I think the lightweight division is this is his division. I mean, he's better at lightweight than featherweight. You know, when he was a younger kid, he's still pretty young, but when he was younger, I think featherweight was good. But now, at this point in his life and his career, lightweight's a good choice. So, yeah, he had a big win over Bobby Green at UFC 199, and now we got him fighting Michael Johnson, who's trying to really get back on track of things. Michael Johnson, a runner-up of Season 12 of The Ultimate Fighter. Great wrestling. So, with that said, I think the technical striking of Dustin Poirier gets this fight finished. I think basically Dustin Poirier stuffs a takedown or two and lands some uppercuts and lands some good combinations. And then, yeah, I think Dustin gets some heavy shots in the clinch, and then he finds the range and knocks him out and finishes him out. So I think this main event, somewhere in the first round, I don't know where, but somewhere in the first round, Dustin Poirier gets a knockout. That's my best guess. Then in the co-main event, we have, in the middleweight division, Uriah Hall versus Derek Brunson. Now, I went kind of back and forth on this one. I mean, Derek Brunson, he's on a great win streak right now. Trains at a good training center. Uriah Hall, great unorthodox striking, really unpredictable. You don't know where he's going to land those kicks a lot of times. But I think Derek Brunson will try to get some takedowns. Uriah Hall early on won't get him, won't give him those takedowns. He will stuff him. I think if this were the older Uriah Hall back during Ultimate Fighter Season 17, he would get taken down. But I think Uriah Hall's takedown defense has gotten better since then. So thus, I think Uriah Hall gets first round knockout on this one. I think he lands some flashy punches and kicks and right to a first round knockout victory. Then in the lightweight division, also on the main card, we got Evan Dunham versus Rick Glenn. Now, Rick Glenn was a superstar in World Series of Fighting, making his big debut in the UFC right now against Evan Dunham, a tough, durable veteran, and still not that old. And he has a lot of experience against top guys in the lightweight division. And with that said, I am picking Evan Dunham by unanimous decision. I think Evan Dunham does this thing, and actually, you know what? I could see this being a 29-28 unanimous decision. I won't say it's going to be a 30-27, because I think Rick Glenn could easily win a round, but I think Evan Dunham, say, loses the first round and then readjusts for the second, third round and wins those basically by out-grappling and out-striking, mixing things up. So I got Evan Dunham by decision, and this could also be a split decision too. I don't see this being an easy fight for either one of these guys. I think this is one of the closest matchups on the main card. So I'm picking Evan Dunham by decision still. In the welterweight division, we have Rowan Canero versus Kenny Robertson. Yeah, Rowan Canero, you know, he had a stint in the UFC. He got cut, went through a long layoff in the UFC, fought in other organizations, and then now he's back in the UFC. And he had a big win over Mark Munoz at UFC 184 last year. And Kenny Robertson, he's a tough, durable veteran in the UFC. I remember watching one of his fights live in person at UFC 157, I believe it was. And looking at this, I think, yeah, Kenny Robertson has some decent wrestling, but Rowan Canero is so good at grappling. He's a grappling wizard that I think he looks to grapple, and I think eventually he gets probably either a decision or a submission. I'll give Kenny Robertson the benefit of the doubt and say because he has wrestling and good MMA experience, he avoids submissions, but I think ultimately he loses a decision here. So en route for Rowan Canero to win in the welterweight division. Then in the lightweight division, we have Chris Wade versus Islam Makhachev, yeah. And I think Chris Wade does his thing. And, I picked Islam on this one. Yeah, I think Islam, I think his Sambo wrestling skills and his just wrestling skills in general get it done here. I think he's just overall the far superior grappler in my opinion. And I think he gets this done by takedowns and putting pressure on. Maybe not so much takedowns, but I could picture him pushing Chris Wade against the cage, and then Chris Wade looking to get out of those tough positions. And then by the time he gets out, the round's already over, and thus Islam wins the fight by decision. This fight, I don't think a lot happens here. I'll be shocked if something does. This fight is what it is. I think it's just a clean, good win for Islam to move up those rankings. Then to kick off the main card in the featherweight division, we have one of my fellow Texans, Chaz Skelly. Big fan of, watched his fights over the years against Maximo Blanco. Now Maximo Blanco, he's a South American. He has great wrestling skills, as many of you know. Chaz Skelly, though, has great wrestling skills through the American college wrestling circuit route. And I think Chaz Skelly stuffs takedowns, and then he outstrikes and outpoints Maximo en route to decision victory. I think this is one of those back and forth. He goes for a takedown, he goes for a takedown. They both get gassed out in the middle in this fight, going for all the takedowns in tough positions and fighting against them. And I think ultimately Chaz Skelly gets it done. The home crowd advantage plays in his favor. This taking place in Hidalgo, Texas. Chaz Skelly is a young prospect to look out for in the featherweight division, and he has plenty of good fights left in him. And we'll see where Chaz Skelly goes from here, but I think he gets it done on this card tomorrow. So there you have it. That wraps up my pre-fight show for UFC Fight Night, Poirier versus Johnson, and stay tuned in the coming days for my post-fight show of this card, and until then, see ya.